Ooh, okay. Welcome,
Yes, yes.
everybody.
Wow.
Is that the sounds of Pokemon Go, Pat? No? Yes?
That's an airplane. Sorry, that's someone arriving at the Burbank airport.
Wow.
Welcome, everybody, to episode 25, our 25th episode of Mount Silver, guys.
Wow.
We're really here. How
That's
did we do
impressive.
this?
I'll be honest. It feels like we've done 50.
Yes.
But you know what? I love this. This is fine. Like, I'm all here. I love Pokemon. To another 25, to another 100. Let's get it.
Absolutely. I'm, of course, one of your hosts, Meelz. I'm here with JG Okotsu.
Mhm.
And I'm here with Big Gucci Pafif.
Oh,
We are here to talk about Pokemon in
We are.
2021 as
Still.
we're still awaiting news. Any news, please. Any game,
Something? Maybe?
something. You know what? That's a good thing to get into. Let's kick
Yeah, we
things
can start
off.
there. We can start there for sure.
They announced since we were last on, which was the month of May. They announced the official dates for Pokemon Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl, November 19th, and also the date for Pokemon Legends Arceus, which is going to come out January 28th, 2022. So that is two games within 2 months apart. How do you guys are you looking to be busy this winter? Do you think COVID is going to come back and you'll just be trapped in the house anyway? So this is just great timing.
I
How do you
think
feel?
the 2 months apart thing is kind of blew my mind a little bit.
Mhm.
It's a move that I wasn't expecting them to make. But I'm gonna be real. One of them I'm gonna play for fun, and the other one I'm gonna play for like seriously. So I don't mind that they're like far apart or not far apart, I should say. Obviously, the Arceus thing is interesting to me because I'm curious if it's going to continue to be a trend, like Pokemon Celebi or Pokemon Lugia, or and we just move on from that, and it all kind of
Mhm.
connects in a way where I just want a Pokemon game where like travel is really traveling, regardless if it's like from a DLC perspective or anything like that. I have big hopes for Arceus because we haven't really got a lot of like Arceus important type things, and it looks like Pokemon is finally ready to like talk about them. But it has to be a major story, right? If they're really pushing this shit like that.
We've heard no news.
No news.
No news. There
And
was a
it's kinda
Nintendo.
soon.
It was
kinda
E3. It was E3 over the last number of days. We didn't get a Pokemon Direct,
No.
which now I learned it's completely separate from Nintendo Direct. Now they just
I think they're on a high horse with this a little bit. No one else does this with anything.
yeah.
Bro,
There's no
I
Mario
have to,
Direct. You know
I
what
Yeah.
I'm saying?
have to admit, I do feel the same as far as them being like, nah, bruh, we're Pokemon, so we'll do our shit in 2 months.
Because
Just join
they
the
have
show,
so
man.
much like
Their functionality is getting absolutely 360 dunked on by other games coming out on this Switch right now.
Yeah, bro. Switch is eating. The issue is like they're so like. Matter of fact, let me blow y'all's mind real quick. And I noticed things was getting weird because when you buy a Pokemon game on the Switch
mhm.
and compare it to everything else, like for example, Super Smash Brothers, Zelda, when you look on the side of the game, you'll see Nintendo. You won't see like Zelda logo and then Nintendo. But when you buy
Yeah.
a Pokemon game, it says the Pokemon Company / Nintendo.
It's kind of like a Pixar thing almost.
It really is. I feel like somewhere down the line when the Pokemon Company was like, okay, we are definitely our own entity with our own thing, some kind of paperwork had to be done where they were like, look, we're making this brand the hottest it's been since the early 90s.
Yeah.
Okay, we want to have some type of separation because there's a chance that we could be bigger than Nintendo in general.
That's what I think it is.
Yeah.
Because
So sorry, Meal, go ahead.
no, I just feel like they have so much stuff. When you look at the Pokemon Directs itself, it's not all Nintendo games.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Like you'll see stuff for Pokemon Go, you'll see whatever with Katy Perry and Post
Yeah.
Malone.
They don't want to
You'll
separate
see-
it.
Yeah, they have so much different bags. They're doing shit with Levi's. They're doing stuff with other things. It's like it's so much more than Nintendo.
Yeah.
That they were probably just like, Y'all could just do your own shit.
So not that I mean I'm excited to play both the Chibi games and Arceus, but it's weird that they aren't giving they really must not give a shit about these remakes because they're not giving them any breathing room.
Mm-hmm.
That or which there's no way this is true, but in their favor, the Arceus gameplay is so different from usual main game gameplay that they think you'll play both simultaneously, which no chance.
Not
but the other
I
thing
feel like they will have something in Shining and Pearl that leads into Arceus. That's my
I hope they do, but it's going to end up being like a code for a Celebi or something.
I'm about to say I don't know if it's going to be like lag on to story or like anything. Because
isn't Arceus still legendary? Isn't Arceus still legendary for the Generation 4 games though?
I mean, depends who you ask.
I mean, yes, it's God, but like,
I don't, bro. I don't.
It's legendary for all games.
I actually don't. I actually don't think they're gonna like have any traction as far as like similarities. I think they're just two separate entities. I think Arceus Legends in general is just gonna be its own Pokemon thing. I'm hoping it's a response to serious gaming.
It is that region's alpha Pokemon.
It is, but that could just be. I mean, it's not. I know it's not a coincidence. I think that they want to keep them intact as far as where they came from. I just don't think Legends or Arceus Legends is going to have to do anything with this chibi game at all.
Okay.
There's going to be like a hint in the. Sorry. Once again,
no, go ahead.
I feel like there's going to be like a hint in like Brilliant Diamond, Shine and Pearl. There's going to be like, oh, we found this old Pokeball. Wonder what this could be about. You know what I'm saying?
The GS ball.
I hope so, bro. But like, they don't look the same at all. Like, it just seems like it's like Let's Go. Like, we're gonna get more Let's Go games. I feel like, but it's just gonna be Let's Go. And maybe the new remakes for these old regions that we want are just gonna be these chibi games, and then they'll have Legends, which I'm hoping is their response to fans saying we're 30. So that's what I'm kind of like
angrily.
Yeah, that's what I'm kind of hoping for, and eventually maybe they will get back to the whole color scheme of like, well, I know it was Pokemon Sword and Shield, but you know what I mean? Like maybe we'll still get those too, and they're just trying to make sure that we get everything intact. Okay, here's a game for hardcore Pokemon like gamers. Here's Chibi for the nostalgia. You guys can still go back and play this region, have fun with it. Here's Pokemon Snap, obviously. Here's all the other bullshit we got. Here's Let's Go. I mean, I hope. I'm saying this with hopes that Legend is like a serious game.
So here's the thing. I hope everything you just said is true. I think that there's kind of a decent chance it is, or it's their like version of it. Again, it's going to be a little hard after playing like this most recent Monster Hunter and stuff to be like, okay, you could have made way bigger strides with this game, but just it kind of ties back into the thing about showing at E3 versus Direct. Like that E3 for Nintendo, it was great. The only people who missed Pokemon being at it are Pokemon people. No one else, like it doesn't matter. Their show was good enough that they didn't need it, and that's kind of probably why the next flagship Pokemon game is coming out a week after New Year's Day. Like, not exactly prime territory for a flagship release.
Yeah, no, you're right. You're absolutely right. Just so many different things. I mean, they're coming out with another game this month in July. I'm not sure if you guys saw the news for Pokemon Unite.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
The only thing that is notable to me about this game was that its trailer was fucking awesome.
It's like a strategy game.
Yeah, I mean, once they took off the trailer shit and then put it in like, oh, here's the actual gameplay, I was like, I might not play it. But
yeah, it's not for everyone. Pat, it's like a honestly, it has that Advance Wars type thing.
Have you seen it, Pat? Have you seen the trailer?
I saw screenshots.
Okay, watch the trailer. You're gonna be like, wow, holy shit.
Yeah, honestly, Pat would probably, you might actually like it. It's a free to play thing.
Here's the problem: all these games sound like the same game. Like Pokemon Unite, I'm like, hasn't this game been released like 100 times for like N-Gage already? Like, what's happening?
I'm gonna try it just to see what's up with it. But I mean, I don't know about y'all, but I still have not been able to like fully grasp on mobile gaming. I don't know if it's just me. Maybe I'm just like I missed it. And I know we're about to talk about Pokemon Go, and that is a mobile game, but that literally is the only
bearing the lead right here.
Yeah, I'm about to say there's nothing else, but like I'll turn this on. Like I don't know what it is about the feeling of it, but I also always figure, damn, you know, if there was Pokemon that I wanted to watch, that made a lot of sense to me as far as or wanted to play, that made a lot of sense to me on a mobile game or any video game. I just have so many other ideas where I'm like, why haven't you done this? Why haven't you done that? So I don't have any interest in playing like mobile games like that. So Pokemon games like this is like I'll try it. Then we play Meelz. How long do we play what you call it? The Pokemon the how many hours?
Pokemon Masters.
How many hours you think Pokemon Masters before you said I'm done?
Shit, I gave it like a week and a half.
A week. It was huge.
Huge in file space
files
on my phone
is what I mean.
I didn't want to
files is what I mean. When I say huge, I'm sorry. I do mean files and how big it was. Like
I got pretty far, and then I was like, "This is taking up too much space on my phone. I kind of want, like, I'll stop here. Thanks."
It had updates.
Yeah, it had updates. I didn't like a couple of the mechanics of it. I actually I'm in a Twitter group chat where people still actively play. Well, it's a Pokemon Twitter group chat, so it's like people still play it openly. They love it. All the other stuff like that. It's just not great for my phone. Like, it's just
it makes it hot and it runs the battery
it makes it hot, which is a major problem. Like a major problem. And I have to save too much stuff for social media related items and all this stuff. I need space for memes and
not a bad game. Not a bad game. It just
Dragon Ball Z videos and like Stephen A reaction videos and all types of other shit like that where I can't.
Baby Yoda pointing a gun at the camera.
No, it's not bad though, but it's just
pictures of Ty.
Yeah, great things you just have to save. They won't understand. God. They're not gonna understand.
No,
that's fine. That's why they like Ghostface Killer's song because they don't know what he's talking about.
That's right.
Nonetheless, Pokemon Unite is expected to drop on Nintendo Switch July 2021 and on iOS in September. So if you're a Pokemon fan, you at least have that to look forward to. I believe also they dropped a new set of trading cards the other week or so.
Yes, they did. Yes, they did. I did well.
Okay.
This guy.
I did some cool stuff. I posted in the chat. I posted some of my hollows in the chat. I got some good stuff. I got a Tornadus V. It's an amazing card.
Bro, did you post that?
I did. I
saw it. It looks so good.
Oh, that card is so cool, dude. It was the first one I pulled as far as the first pack, and I was like, oh, this is beautiful. Like, they just did such a fun job.
They're actually, Wizards is doing, like, some, not to the degree they're doing it with Pokemon, but they're kind of going this design angle on some Magic cards now, and it is
like action cards, like where they're actually doing something.
Yeah, and like just like you'll pull a card and like the layout is like totally different, but it's really only because like awesome. They wanted borderless art or something.
Yeah.
And I gotta say, from what I've seen, it's working a little better in Pokemon.
Yeah, it was sweet. I pulled that card. I thought that was awesome.
They all look like ancient Egyptian cards now.
Yeah. Like they're just very beautiful, So they did a good job. The packs are cool, man.
Just got a Charmander and Pokemon Go.
All right,
awesome. I'm listening. We're gonna get there. I was looking for more Pokemon related news. All I found was comicbook.com reported that a Pokemon Sword and Shield player gets wrong shiny after nearly 600 eggs. They were shiny hunting Salandit. The one where the female evolves.
Yeah, that sucks.
And he got the male. So.
Oh, that is awful, bro.
That's so funny.
Unfortunately, but that's the shiny hunting game. They need to make it easier again. Like it needs to be more easier. Oh, like I know they've included shiny charms, but like we need it easier. Like,
look, bro,
super easier.
They can just add tasks. Okay, you can make me do as many tasks as you want if it adds to gameplay, if it's to make me get shinies quicker and easier. I promise you. I don't care how even if it's really hard, like I'll do it if it comes with some type of 50 30% chance to find a shiny or something. And it's just like a
Give me
big
the
process
shiny.
you got to go through. I'll do it, bro.
Here's something that's kind of related. I have been playing Shin Megami Tensei 3 Nocturne HD Remaster on the Switch. And it really, have you guys ever played? I think at least Jeff, you've played Persona, right?
Yeah.
It's an Atlas game, obviously, but it's basically like Pokemon but with demons, and it's awesome. It's very, very JRPG from like 2003 or whenever it originally came out.
Bro, text me that, bro.
Yeah, I will. It's fantastic. And then I think the 3 or 4 was a really big hit for like in cult status on the DS, on 3DS. And then 5 is a new game that's coming out in the fall, I think. So I think Jeff, at least I think you'd really like it if you remember playing, like, it's kind of like Skies of Arcadia almost, or something from back in the day.
Okay.
Or like Xenosaga-ish, but yeah. So anyway, but it mostly is like Pokemon, but with demons. So anybody who has not heard of this random game that I only kind of know about because of a friend, check this out if you want. Like, it is like in the dialogue in the game, there, it's a very, it is like an M-rated game, so it's great. So check it out.
Hey, are we just not going to talk about... I don't know if you guys missed this, or I don't know if we just weren't doing an episode. Real quick, before we get into go, Power World. Does anybody know what Power World is?
Bro, yes. Oh my god.
I know. I thought Pat saw it on the
Power World real every day?
Yo, okay, so
talk about
the company that is creating Power World is obviously trying to get funding. I want to donate. I want to be a part of this. I ain't gonna lie to you, because it looks like what we need. It's basically Pokemon with guns.
It's like Pokemon meets Fortnite almost.
Yeah.
But like with a little bit of Breath of the Wild,
Yes.
even though like that's just saying something has slightly open world aspects is now for some reason attributed to Breath of the Wild.
It's literally Digimon, Pokemon, Breath of the Wild, RPG, all in one.
Yeah.
And it's developed by this independent company that are trying to basically get funds to finish the game. They said it's expected to come out next year if everything goes well. I need it. It is real.
Yeah, if it was kind of shocking to see for the first time, just because it was so straight faced.
Mm-hmm.
But Pal World is just the funniest name for a game, both as a Pokemon parody and like otherwise. It's just hilarious to me.
Did you see it, Meelz?
Yeah, I did see it.
Man, looks awesome, bro. What are we doing?
It looks amazing. It looks great. It looks fantastic. I can't wait to
open world survival crafting.
I can't wait till we wedge it in to review it somehow on this podcast.
It's gonna be great. I love when the trailer literally says like stuff in it, like not quite like this, but almost like they are your slaves and will never die.
Yeah.
And they show them like building like a skyscraper and shit. It looks
getting
insane.
shot.
Listen,
can they die by getting shot? What?
Listen, the spinoff, the Power World spinoff to this podcast is going to be amazing.
Rated mature.
Pals only.
Big pals only.
New podcast. Pals only.
Listen, let's talk about Pokemon Go.
All right. It's been a while.
July 5th has marked 5 years since the release of Pokemon Go. It was a game that I literally remember the first day Jeff texted me and it's like, it's live. And I was like, oh shit. Okay. But today we have a very special fucking, I guess a special perspective from it because Pat has downloaded Pokemon Go for the first time.
Yeah, oh yeah.
For the first time today, and will literally live let us know how is he navigating this game. Well, first of all,
I literally can't. My guy's just spinning in a circle. I can't move.
You can't move. You have to get up and move. Like you have. This is a Pokemon.
You have to move.
All right, hang on a second.
You have to.
No, damn. I guess you can't really be on a podcast and play this game unless you like really know the game. I wonder if did he move?
He's going to move. He's got to see his guy walking around.
No, you gotta like move like an actual like distance, like
Well, yeah, I mean, I know that, but
not like really in the crib, but like you might. I mean, you might be able to get it off. Um, with that said, Pokemon Go came out 5 years ago. Uh, it was a phenomenon that shook the entire. There's the world that existed during Pokemon Go is completely different than
oh
any other
man,
time and period
yeah, I was
of the
outside, bro.
in world history.
I was outside. I was outside for reasons that I wouldn't be outside for on a
Standing in front
normal
of things you
occasion.
shouldn't be
Oh
standing
yeah,
in
I have
front
to
of.
go to real places.
Yeah, you have to go to real
I thought I could
places.
just like walk around my apartment.
No, you have to play it.
Stuff will pop
This,
up, but
this is a. So we're gonna get into the entire because there's a current controversy within the game regarding people
games are
having to
mad
get up
right
and
now.
move.
Yeah,
Yeah, regarding people having to get up and move. But the game came out 5 years ago. It took the entire states by storm. Took the entire world by storm. I mean,
Mhm.
at least the world that was accessible to it. It came out in the United States. It came out in Japan and a few other countries as well. Pandemonium, absolute pandemonium. It
big
has
deal.
never been. I think this is the thing with Pokemon Go and its relevance within the Pokemon gaming world or just Pokemon world. This is exactly what they've wanted to capture from people always, but didn't really know how to capture it. And the
This
funny
was
thing,
against all odds a massive mission accomplished moment for bringing
sure.
people
yeah,
back to this.
Definitely.
and the thing was, this game was a spinoff of the April Fool's joke um, that Google had. Remember the April Fool's thing where
With the
Google had
GPS.
that map, yeah, around the
Yeah,
world, and you had to find all the Pokemon around the world, and you had to like
absolutely.
go literally across the country, zoom in on certain places in Google Maps or Google Earth or wherever the fuck it is to find these certain Pokemon. This is the spinoff of that by the company Niantic.
They were like, wait a minute, that's money. Google's
Yeah,
wilding.
they introduced augmented reality to this game, which in turn brought kind of augmented reality games to like I guess a mainstream type of coverage as opposed to like I mean there are augmented reality games before, but like never to the magnitude of
Yeah,
this
not
game.
this degree.
What do you remember? All right, so just so we can brief Pat on this entire thing, because Pat. All right, so Pat, maybe I should ask you this: what do you remember about Pokemon Go, and why didn't you download it initially when everyone had seemingly had downloaded the game?
Well, I mean, not I know that now it's this isn't quite the reputation it has, but at the time I was like, why would I play this and not play Pokemon like the real thing? Like I didn't like because I walk around like I just go outside and be on my phone. I'll just play the game. I don't care.
That's fair.
Like
That's fair.
leveling Pokemon in a phone game. Wow, I don't want to do that. I want to play the game for real. Obviously, it's like something you can just like pick up and do much more casually than you can. This is a me problem, not a Pokemon Go problem. I don't do anything like this is going to sound like a crazy person thing to say, but I don't really do anything like casually, quote unquote. Like that's why it's taken me so long to watch like all the anime you guys recommend for me and like
I
do
get
all
it.
this other stuff because I'm like a totally like I have a very obsessive personality and like even if I don't like it takes me so long to really dive into something because I know it's going to be all consuming. So when I see something like this, I'm like, I'll just stick with the main one. No need for me. But but really, now it's like, oh, if I were just like walking, to the grocery store and like I caught a Mewtwo at the bar on my way there, that would be cool.
Which you can, which is very possible.
It's possible, yeah.
Very possible within this game.
Oh, a Bidoof showed up in my bedroom.
Bidoof,
Yeah.
that is the event Pokemon of the thing. If you catch it, you get more experience than you would as of right now, because that's the current event that's going on. There's a
What's the shiny rate on these, Meelz?
Shiny rate terribly low.
Okay,
the Bidoof rate itself is not even that high. So,
congrats to Big Bidoof Pafif.
That's right.
Shout out to the big Bidoof. Jeff.
Yes.
I was there. You were there. 2016.
Yeah.
when you were playing the game, what is the most? Let's do these two things. What is your earliest memory with the game, and then what is the most dangerous
Yeah.
memory that you've seen with this game?
I don't know. I just remember about a week after it happened. I remember the first day. My first day was really exciting because I thought that I could walk through my neighborhood and have proper success, and I wasn't. But at the time I was just like, oh yeah, I gotta play. Like I gotta do something. So I just started walking around, and I'll never forget catching a pincer. I don't know if you guys Meelz, I don't know if you remember. Pincer was like, at least in Georgia, it was like one of them ones, like
Mm-hmm.
one of the early ones that you'd see that had like high CP.
Yeah.
And I was just like, oh yeah, I got me. You know what I'm saying? I got me a fucking pincer, bro. Let's get it. You know what I'm saying? And then like it started to fall off a little bit.
Of course.
But it was a crazy moment because I was hyped from.
Thank you.
Thank you for that, Pat. Bidoof sitting on
cat tree,
a cat tree, staring at Pat. But yeah, no, dude. Honestly, it was a crazy time. I actually had a really good time that first week. It was something to do, and I was already hype about it when they announced it like 8 months prior.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was locked in. I had 2 friends that started with me. So that was cool.
I'm assuming
obviously.
None of them play anymore.
No. Like one of them does still play. Just as he's pretty locked in. James, shout out James. He's pretty tapped in still. I know that a lot of it's died off. I've even fell off of it as well, but I had a lot of like great memories with it. Just always pulling up somewhere and looking to your right or left and seeing that like they're in the
Other
car
people were
doing the
playing.
exact same thing you're doing.
Oh my god!
It's kind of crazy. Like, I mean, what I mean by this, one of the most amazing things about it was seeing people of all ages, all ethnicities doing this shit. I'm saying I didn't see real niggas, like in Atlanta, like just at Lenox Mall, dressed like Migos, bro. Playing Pokemon Go, bro. Like old people, old white people, old.
I know Takeoff played this.
I know Takeoff had to get it done, man. I know Takeoff was
Listen.
playing this shit, bro.
Oh my god. Which celebrity do I know that still plays this game?
We know Bad Bunny plays. He's got a tattoo,
Yes.
doesn't he?
Bad Bunny definitely does play it. All right. So my earliest thing with the game, I remember when Jeff texted me, and then I, downloaded it, caught my first Pokemon, and then I think after like a week later, I released it and didn't even realize it. But just the level of community, like you kind of talked about, of people, you going outside and everyone is playing it, and literally, you go and you see, oh, there's a Pokemon on your, I'm sure, Pat, what you see now is a bunch of silhouettes of like Pokemon, and it's like, oh my god, what could that be? But obviously, you know what they are.
Yeah.
But people walking towards those type of things, and you seeing people playing it right next to you and catching all those things. I have 2 very distinct memories. My oldest Pokemon in this game is it's a 47 CP Dragonite. I caught a wild Dragonite. I was at work. I turned on the game. I said, oh, there's a Dragonite around here. What? I took the elevator 11 flights down, left my building that I was working with to go find this Dragonite. And then I found it. And I was so happy. And then it was 47 CP. And I said, I'm going to catch it anyway.
Oh, yeah, absolutely, bro. Like, you have no choice. My oldest in my decks is, of course, I've obviously threw away probably the stuff that I started with. But July 13th, 2016, it's literally my 4-star Nidoqueen.
Good for you. Good for you. That's a good one.
It's just good times, bro. I have a 4-star Nidoking as well.
It's a
don't know
4-star family.
Yeah, bro. We out here.
Friggin' my other memory. I would go from time to time. I was big into this game. I'm still into it, but definitely not as much as before. But I still like open it. Like,
you were locked in though at a certain point.
I was locked in. I would go after work on Fridays to Central Park, because Central Park had all the Pokemon there. Like, it just had, because this game is based on a cell service, and if there's a high amount of cell service in certain areas,
Yeah.
then usually Pokemon spawn a lot more around those areas. So like shit like parking lots, Pokemon spawn, metropolitan areas, like beaches, other types of shit where there's a lot of cell service. Shit will spawn there. Went to Central Park. There was a Snorlax somewhere. 200 to 400 people running in the direction of a Snorlax, and people like, what are you running for? What are they doing?
It's a Snorlax.
There's a Snorlax. And I'm like, I don't run because I walk briskly. You know what I'm saying? Like, if I get there, I get there, but I definitely, I wanted to get there, but I didn't want to run for it because I was just like, nah, that's too much for this damn game. It's like, this is like public streets and shit like that. But that was the story of so many things. In Japan, the stampede of thousands of people for the wild Vaporeon. The Chansey, anytime there was a wild Chansey, people would go crazy.
Oh, yeah, we had to get the Chanseys, bro.
Chansey was so rare in this game. It still is. Well, not as much anymore because there'll be like events where it like pops up. But Chansey was so rare in this game.
I don't even think I have that many Chanseys right now.
The news reports of people playing it while driving and crashing.
Hey, man.
Shit.
Let's not talk about that, man. I've been close.
Crime, where people would hold people up who knew they were playing Pokemon Go, and they would go and hold them up or rob them or something along those lines because they were standing in one place for too damn long.
Worth it. Like, worth it. Had to get it. Had to get that Gyarados.
This game had a lock on society so hard, so damn hard, that even politicians were using it in their speeches.
No!
Not politicians. Keep politics out of Pokemon.
Pokemon go to the polls.
That was when it was over.
It was a wrap. It was a wrap shortly after. I think the high end span of the popularity of this game lasted a month, where everyone was playing it.
I remember like people being at the beach, like in fucking Malibu, just playing Pokemon Go, and it's like, this is like literally like one of the most beautiful. I didn't care. I would play video games wherever you want, but it's just so funny that like this is literally one of the most beautiful places on the planet, and people are just posted up here trying to like catch a
lot of Pokemon there, bro. I could imagine.
Yeah, it's insane. It's wild. But the game itself was such a phenomenon, and it's evolved, and there's YouTube, people who are still making a lot of money. I mean, the YouTubers, the Pokemon Go YouTubers, there's a small community, but there's the community that people follow heavily, and they have quit their jobs and they've made a living playing Pokemon Go. And
that could be us.
Yeah, I know. I was like, shit, it should have been me, but like, I also had a job like 9 to 5 during the day and had no time. So couldn't actually commit to it, where I suspect a lot of these people didn't have jobs initially, and then now they have a job to do it. Oh, a Bidoof. Okay. I'm playing this as we talk about this. But Pokemon Go has evolved into a game, and it's probably the most popular spin-off game, the Pokemon ever, because in the constant of 2016, what came out in 2016? I want to say Sun and Moon. Ooh, that was a bad year.
It was awful. Maybe it was on purpose. Now that we look at it, pay attention to Go.
Because it's been the one constant that has carried me so many years of playing Pokemon Go, and I've picked up and dropped so many games: Pokemon Sun and Moon, Pokemon Ultra Sun and Moon, Let's Go. Let's Go is based off of the popularity. I think a large part of the popularity of Pokemon Go is what they incorporated into Let's Go, obviously, with the catching mechanics and all the discovery and all this other shit like that. Raid battles came from Pokemon Go into the normal game. I'm trying to think of what else this kind of had that attributed to kind of like it's an important Pokemon game. It literally, I don't want to say save Pokemon itself, but the company Niantic who developed the actual game itself now they're world renowned for their augmented reality gaming because of this game. Like,
Right.
And it did basically change the main games. It was very it was more influential to the way the Sword and Shield would end up being than stuff from the main games. Like
Absolutely.
it is cool to see that, even if
Hey,
I didn't play it.
does Pokemon Let's Go happen without Pokemon Go? Because what I think happened was they were like,
No,
oh,
you're exactly right.
yeah, it's like,
Absolutely.
do people like? I think Pokemon was like, oh, people actually just want to catch Pokemon, just the thrill of that. So we'll make a game where that's really all you have to do.
Yeah.
I mean, this game, I don't know how many. I'm locked into this game. If there's anyone who's a Pokemon Go player, if you had to do any of your friends, like, I'm probably the one who's like, yeah, I play the most and I've got all the most shit. Because I'm like a level 44 in this game, which is very, very hard to get to.
Yeah, no, you like I said, you were tapped in heavy at one point.
I
No, you got all
love
the
this
shit.
game.
Yeah, you got
And
all
the
the
reason
shit.
why I love it is just because of the feeling like you're able. First of all, I'm into more catching Pokemon than battling shit. So like the competitive aspect of games, I don't really like mess with crazy because it requires too much work, like too much building for me to actually do it. And this game is just about catching and shit like that. And I love the thrill of, oh my god, when you get a shiny in this game, it's like crack.
It
Like
is.
it's literally like
It definitely is. Yeah.
it's like a shot of heroin because you will spend 2 days looking for a shiny, will never find it, but on that day you find it, you're like, anything is possible, and I now need to spend the next 20 more weeks looking for more shinies. The thrill of shinies in this game is what kind of keeps me going. But I love this game just because of, I guess, the real world aspect of it. The fact that anything can pop up, the weather can change to it. It's really just about catching Pokemon. There's so many other factors. I can transfer Pokemon from this game now into the main games, which is something that I've wanted to do because I catch way cooler Pokemon in this game than I ever will.
How does that work? Are they just straight up like the same level and everything that they were in
No,
No,
there's
there's
a conversion.
Yeah.
There's a conversion kind of like formula thing that deals with like CP and a bunch of other stuff. The CP is like the, I guess the
Like a
CP and stuff like
power
that.
level kind of.
Yeah, and there's a level to it. The amount of Stardust you catch it with, it kind of determines what level it actually is. So there's like levels and stuff like that that's eventually like translated over in IVs and stuff like that. That are eventually
We couldn't tell.
yeah. No,
Different
I mean,
times.
people know the formula. It's just fuck
Now
am I
they're-
trying to remember it? Yeah.
Yeah, they're giving it to us now, though. They're feeding it to us.
Yeah, absolutely.
There is a competitive nature.
There's absolutely
yes,
competitive
yeah.
nature to this game. It's not as deep as the main game
No.
because in this game you discover very, very quickly that like only 6 Pokemon are good competitively. Because this doesn't have like special defense and special attack and speed, so it doesn't counter into that. So the factors that include to this are HP, attack, and defense. So, and then they average it. So your attack and special defense in the main attack and special attack in the main game is now average into their attack in this game, which may raise it or lower it or something. So Pokemon that could be actually like useful, like let's say an Alakazam is useful in the main series because its attack is so low in the main series that when it's in Pokemon Go, like it just averaged out to a very, very like average ass Pokemon. So you would never use it competitively.
Yeah.
So things like Registeel, which has high defense and high special defense, would be very, very useful in this game, plus its typing and et cetera, moveset, et cetera, et cetera. So yeah, I mean, competitively, it's like, it's all right. It's cool. I'm not they try to force you. All right, let's get to the controversy with the game actually right now. So COVID-19 brought a very
Things happen.
It brought a circumstance to a game where you need to actually go out and interact with people and play, which I used to do a
Pokemon
lot.
stay at home.
Yeah. Pokemon go home.
Yeah.
But I'm sure that's what Andrew Cuomo would be saying or something. But at broader circumstances in the game that they established for, I think at least 3 to 4 years at that point for being outside, and interacting with people and having these events, having these raid days and having these things where you need to go out and interact with people, trading it took so long for them to bring trading to the actual fucking game.
We were waiting, man. We were really waiting.
Yeah, and you still can't trade with people that aren't close to you, which is ass, but whatever. But it took so many different things. So COVID-19 brought a circumstances is like, well, how are we supposed to play this game if we have to stay in one place and quarantine and all this other stuff like that? So then Pokemon Go essentially transformed its game. It took certain items and made them more effective. They took raids where you had to go there to be in person, and they introduced a remote raid pass, which means you can, whatever gym you can see in the vicinity of your house, you can raid at that gym. Or someone can invite you to whatever remote raid they can. So they introduced that aspect to it. And all these different aspects that I was like, oh, okay, the game can be cool again. Like, we can literally play this game at home and it still can be fine, et cetera, et cetera. It is June 2021. And at the end of June 2021, they are taking away a majority of those bonuses that were used. And people are not happy.
Yeah,
by the time you're listening to this, perhaps.
Yes, by the time you listen to this, they will be gone. They will sure be gone.
Well, but I'm saying that's the thing. They're like, all right, well, you motherfuckers want to go to concerts? Well, that you can take your ass outside and go catch these Pokemon.
Pokemon go to the polls, baby.
Yeah, we're back, okay? If you can go to the shows, go to an NBA game, you can go catch these Pokemon at the park. And they try and get us back on track. But I'm like, look, you've already started this new culture, though. Like,
you can't put the toothpaste back in the tube.
Right.
Yeah, bro,
so
it's too late.
What's the worst part about it is, and I think the point that people are trying to make is, in 2020, Pokemon Go had one of its most profitable years ever. Like, most profitable by incorporating so many things into the game that would make it easy to stay home. They had live events, they had some paid events that you had to pay to, et cetera, et cetera. Millions and millions and millions of people play this game. So it's not like they're not making a profit from this game. People want the same type of, they don't want to go back to like, okay, people aren't ready, and not the entire world is opened up, to be honest with you.
Yeah. Also, like, the virus is still like really horrible in a lot of countries.
Yeah. I mean, they've said that, okay, in the United States, and I think in Australia or New Zealand, rather, New Zealand, which I guess had like maybe like 2 cases of COVID.
Yeah, they were fine. I mean, I don't know about that fine, but they were small.
Right.
Yeah. So they're going to try it in that, but people never wanted that. People don't want that. People are like, yo, this has been fun to at least have the option of like, okay, if I can't go outside, I can know at least I can have a fun time playing this game. And to be honest, I don't think there's anything detrimental about that. I don't think there's anything like, oh, you have to play outside, like go play outside, like give people the option. I fully support like the people who are complaining about it, because I was like, yeah, you can't, like Pat said, like you can't put the toothpaste back in the fucking tube. Like, you've already changed this game, you've changed the culture of this game and all these other stuff like that, and now you're trying to put it back, even though they've said from the beginning, it was like, yo, this is going to last until the pandemic is over. It's like, well, when is it really over?
When is it really over? Real questions asked on Mount Silver.
There's petitions, there's anger, there's tweets, there's all this other stuff like that. Usually, however, Niantic is really receptive to it when people get pissed off about things, because people have been pissed off about things in various points throughout this entire game. There was at one point, I think earlier this year, they had given out Shiny Galarian Ponyta and forgot to turn it on. So you were raiding and spending money and all this other stuff trying to get this thing that didn't actually exist.
Didn't exist.
Yeah,
that's tough, bro.
Yeah,
that's tough, bro.
This is a tough world. Pokemon Go is not for the weak at heart. Mistakes were made, but overall, I think just the impact that this game had is so important to Pokemon just in general, at least over the last like 5 years. The main series, how Pokemon has evolved from literally just like, okay, it's a game to now a brand because of how this. Yeah, this took it worldwide. A lot of the things was, I think a lot of success also with the early part of this game was it was based on the first 151 Pokemon, which people actually still know. They don't know any of the other shit after this.
Yeah, exactly.
Made it easy, made it simple for us.
I've been with so many people. I had a Pokemon Go group around my job. I have one around my job and I have one around my house. That cannot pronounce any of the things, any of the Pokemon in this game. Chansey, Scyther.
They just like
all this other shit.
People love Scyther. They've always loved Scyther.
Although it's clearly Scythe.
I love hitting the farm with my Scythe.
Oh my god, and so many different other things, but like it's been so influential to like the last 5 years of this game. Just everything, all the little accessories, the Pokemon Go Plus, which I still have mine, which I guess I need to give it up.
That sounded so defeated.
Yeah, I need to give it up. It's like there's no point anymore in this game. They made you pay $30 at the beginning of this game to get this device, and then they kind of like quality of life updated it into the actual game itself. So you don't really need it unless you want to catch shit automatically without looking.
Wow, great.
Yeah, but it's a game. It's a game. Pat,
yeah, I don't use mine anymore. So
has your experience in this last like 25 minutes or so evolved?
I would say yes. I mean, I probably would, like, if I was just walking down to the grocery store, I probably would just pull this up. So that's good. Let's see. Who did I got? Right now I caught Purloin, and I caught an Oddish, and I failed to catch a Trico.
Damn.
Tricos are tough.
Yeah, I don't really understand. Like, I'll be honest, I never understood how to catch Pokemon in the Safari Zone. I just threw random combinations of stuff until it worked. So
there's a method to
give them bananas or throw a Pokeball. I'm like, okay, I'll just rotate these two.
The bananas are for them not to move.
Okay.
So they don't jump up and down.
But it actually is where you hit them with the Pokeball?
Yes. Because you can do an excellent throw, a great throw, a nice throw, or a regular ass throw.
Yeah. Okay.
And you get extra points if you curve the ball.
I only do curve, son. I only do curve, yeah. Just got used to
it. It's an interesting adventure. It's an interesting game. I like it still. Even though it cheats you out of a lot of stuff. This is these people want your money. Don't get it wrong.
They do.
They want your money. And they get plenty of it from me. I have no shame in game to say that, like, yo, like at least once a month, I'm definitely spending money on this game because I need more shit. But if that's my only vice in this world, this is how addicts talk. If this is my only vice in this world, then I feel like I'm doing okay.
From a distance, it seems like you are to me.
Yeah, I think I'm fine. I don't have an unhealthy relationship with this game.
Yeah, I fell off of the game, but I had a really, really dope time with it that first year. So the memories are there. I still turn it on every now and then, make sure my eggs get hatched to catch kind of whatever I see if I'm at the house. But
yeah, I'm playing all the time. I'm a shiny hoarder. My unhealthy obsession is catching shinies. I'm that guy. So, and it's much easier than playing the actual fucking regular game, which I have to hatch 600 eggs. So, I mean, that's our Pokemon Go kind of analysis for this month. It's the 5th anniversary of Pokemon Go. I'm sure there'll be massive amount of events. I'm sure there'll be massive amount of nostalgia. I will always remember the 2 weeks where Pokemon Go existed, where it was the closest thing to world peace that we've ever gotten.
Hey, Meelz, when's the rehaul? I know aren't they supposed to be like redesigning the whole game soon?
So they started redesigning the gym battles. I forget what else they're going to redesign in this entire thing, but I think they're still kind of worried about the backlash that people are having. But Pokemon Go Fest is sometime this month in July. Pokemon Go Fest is actually, Pat, Pokemon Go Fest was an event that they would have in like Chicago or various countries around the world where all Pokemon Go players would go for a weekend to go play the game. And they would offer you like shinies and exclusive items and all types of other shit. And you would have to like buy a hotel and all this other stuff like that.
This is insane.
Yeah, it actually happened. And it was huge.
Yeah, it's huge. Like it's a movement. It's a movement for sure. Now they do it remotely, so they can just like turn it on in your game or some shit like that, which they probably should have done from the start.
Absolutely.
But I'm sure they're gonna tell you 2022 Pokemon Go. They're back in whatever fucking outside venue they have. But that's it. That's all I kind of want. Pokemon Go. It's an experience. I know that I personally love this game, with all its faults and all. I play it every time to time. I'm kind of been off of it as of late because there hasn't been anything interesting in a while. But I'll still play it from now and then. And I recommend anyone who goes outside and does things and needs something to at least buy time or at least a stress reliever, because I can't tell you how many times to avoid massive amount of stress. I've just went out and walked aimlessly for like an hour, 2 hours playing this game. So
it will get you outside. Absolutely.
It'll get you outside. It'll get you outside and get your steps in and all this other stuff like that. Thank you everyone for listening. Of course, this is the latest episode of Mount Silver. You can follow everything Mount Silver related. Look out on RNC Radio and Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, and so much more. Everywhere you can find podcasts. You can also follow us at the Lookout RNC on Twitter. And of course, have fun playing these games. We will be back. I'm not even sure we'll be back next month, but pray that there's some news on this game and we'll return. Once there's news on we're officially holding out until there's news on these games.
I mean, that's the only thing we can really do.
Yeah, at this point. So we'll see you guys next time when they decide Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl and Arceus, deserve some extra development worth announcing. But until then, we'll see you guys next time. Take care.
Peace.